Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we're checking out the FD-1 from Havok Elektronix. Let's check it out. This absolute unit of a pedal is in a pre-production version, but you can follow Havok's Instagram. It's down in the description. I believe that Rob is just on the verge of launching a bunch of these, so you want to check this out. This is nice and timely. I love the design on this thing, but before we go any further, I just want to show you, compared to an NS2 standard boss size pedal, how much bigger this pedal is. I mean, it's a beast, okay, but it isn't just a beast in terms of the size of the pedal. It's got a really, really big sound to it. And that's what's most important here. This pedal is built on, or it's modeled on rather, the Randall RG100. This is a legendary solid state amp that kind of earned its place in metal history despite being, let's call it, notoriously mediocre. It's, as solid state amps go, you know, it was kind of ahead of its time, but at the same time, a lot of people don't love it. The reason we're interested in that amp today is because that's the amp that was sort of made famous by Dimebag Darrell. It's got that really biting kind of razor sharp tone that kind of defined Pantera's sound. And that's what this is based on. Now, I'm using it here as a distortion pedal. It's intended as a distortion pedal more than as a preamp. Maybe down the line I'll do a little bit of a demo of it as a preamp. I like it better as a straight up distortion. Let's just do a quick rundown on the controls so you can see what we're looking at. It is laid out like a distortion pedal, and you can tell that it's pre-production, right? I mean, these are hand engraved. It's just a really cool pedal, though. It's just fun to play with. We've got the volume, tone, and gain controls on the top row, low, mid, and high on the bottom row. Now, super important though, this pedal runs on 18 volts, okay, instead of the standard 9 volts. Most pedals will run on 9 volts. There are a handful that will do 12 or 18 volts. So if you're going to get something like this one is an 18 volt pedal. I happen to be using today the Vangoa SD-S powered Pedalboard, which has an 18 volt power supply set up specifically for these bigger pedals. So this is ready to go. The important thing is, if you plug a 9 volt control into an 18 volt pedal, you won't get any sound. If you plug an 18 volt control into a 9 volt pedal, you will fry your pedal. So make sure that you're using the right voltage for the pedals that you've got. Okay, now for the demo today, I'm going to jump in and we're going to cut to it. I'm going to be running the FD-1 directly into Reaper. I'm going into the front of a clean SLO plugin from Neural DSP, SLO100 plugin. And I'm going to be playing on my Donner DMT100 tuned to drop C. So let's check out some heavy tones and see what we've got. Okay, we're all tuned up here and ready to rock. And I've got the DMT100s tuned to drop C, like I said. Nice sounding pedal. That is the clean tone on the Soldano SLO100 plugin from Neural DSP. So that's going to give us some nice grindy bottom end. I've got everything on the pedal on the FD-1 at noon, and let's switch it on. You're going to hear a big clunk. Ooh, that's a beast. All right. And then this is just everything at noon. It's a little bit sludgy, right? Which in and of itself is a pretty cool tone. We're sort of at kind of at unity. We can take the volume up just a little bit. That's decent. Okay, so let's take the gain down. Okay. Yeah, let's take the gain down. So I'm going to take the gain down to 9 o'clock. See what that sounds like. And then roll it up. So it's a very heavy bottomy. Like I said, it's a little bit sludgy, and that's where this tone control can come in and start brightening things up. But before we do that, let's do a classic scooped mid. So we're gonna put the low and high over to 3 o'clock. Hear how much brighter that is? Now we're getting into some really cool kind of thrash territory. Which I really like. I'm going to take that mid back up sort of 12 o'clock. And then just go a little bit, say about 11 o'clock. I'll take the lows down. So remember, in a mix, you don't want to have a lot of bottom end. So here we can use the EQ to really tweak this. Which also sounds very cool. So that's got a lot of body to it. Like I said, it's got huge, huge tone. So let's take the tone control. We're going to go all the way out with the tone control. And this just acts like a, I'm going to call it like a little bit of a treble bass filter, right? Okay, lots and lots and lots of really cool tone happening here. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to keep the lows up, get the high all the way up. I'm going to dial the gain back to about 3 o'clock, so it's a little bit, just a little bit less hairy. Okay, I'm going to keep the highs up, and we're just going to roll through the tone control and see what we can get from that. Does it start to get a little bit fizzy? I don't think so. It's really, really like punchy on the bottom end, right? You're really, really deep, kind of, like I said, sludgy sound. So a big difference, like from where we had this all at noon, where it just kind of sounded grindy. And not very well defined at all, to getting that high up. That's a big sweep. That makes a huge difference. In a studio setting or a band setting, I might be inclined to roll the lows down. Playing by yourself, roll it up. Get a little bit more bottom end. It's just because it doesn't blend well with other instruments if you've got a ton of bass. Again, very solid. I'm going to do another little trick, which is I'm going to put an extra overdrive in front of it, just for fun. So let's kick this up a notch. I'm going to put a Tube Screamer style overdrive in front of the FD-1. So in this case, I'm going to use the Superodex from Matero Effects. This is a really nice Tube Screamer style overdrive. I'm going to turn everything down. Okay. Leave the tone at noon. And this is going to give us, hopefully going to give us a little bit more punch and tighten up the bottom end a little bit. So we're going to switch this on. You hear it just cut because the volume is down. See how much tighter that is? It's just nice and punchy, right? Now we dial the volume up. We're going to hit the front end of the distortion a little bit harder. We can brighten this all the way. Getting a little bit of microphonics out of it because of the volume. So take that volume back down, okay, and switch the treble filter and add a little gain. You want some hairiness to it. And then if we put that right in the middle. Yeah, so I quite like that. So that is the FD-1 from Havok Elektronix. It's a monster of a pedal that is not afraid to bring some heat. It's got some big sounds. If you're into nice, big, saturated distortion with a lot of EQ control, this is one worth keeping an eye on. Remember, this model is in pre-production right now. So if you follow Havok Elektronix on Instagram, you'll get all of the updates as well. Make sure you check out their website. That's linked down below as well. Yeah, just keep an eye out for it because Rob is doing some really cool stuff, right? This is the second pedal I've reviewed from them and from him, and it's great. It delivers. It absolutely delivers. So listen, if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member or signing up for the newsletter. Both of those links are also down in the description. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates so you don't miss what's coming up next. Okay? So hey, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you again really soon.